Hello, welcome to check-in video, month 11 of 12 albums in 12 months. I do not feel cute right now. There's my hat. There's a coffee mug, a plant, my piano. I am struggling, doing better today, but had been feeling a lot of feelings about this challenge and releasing an album that I actually really care about. I cared about all the songs on month 10, and I worked really hard on it for like 2 weeks, maybe just a week and a half. And I tried to start it sooner, but I ended up choosing a bunch of songs that are now going to go on a different album after the challenge is over, because I found the raw data for those, and I can actually take a lot of time to really polish those up, and I didn't want to rush it, because I've learned that 1 month is not enough time to feel really good about an album and then also promote it well. So I'm trying to take that pressure off and just do things that are realistic within a month instead of anything too high pressure. Also, I learned that with lo-fi music, anything that has a raw data that maybe was on like my little handheld recorder or on my phone, any raw data that just isn't that high of quality, I kind of stopped expecting myself to do like a real album's amount of work on it, because I don't even really feel comfortable having it at a radio station or having people request it, because it's just, the raw data. It's not about my work, whether or not I did enough work. It's more about, is the raw data, I hate to say it because I do love lo-fi music, but is the raw data like good enough sounding that I can like, is the raw data good enough sounding that I'll feel good having it, requested on the radio, for instance. And if the answer is no, or just like, then I tried to start taking the pressure off myself to like do a lot, So, oh boy, I've been breaking out, so yeah. I'm not really going to apologize for that, like whatever, hormones, life, stress, who knows why. I was about to apologize, which is crazy. Like, oh no, I have skin. I miss doing these. This is fun. I get over things pretty easily. Let's see. It's been a long time since I've had a video right here and playing music. I really miss that. But my phone's been really full. I've had like 5,000 pictures on it from ever since I traveled to Colorado to visit my sister and her family. And just was waiting for a time that I would like post hundreds of pictures on my Facebook, I guess. I don't even know. Not on Instagram, obviously. 10-pic limit. Ooh, don't want to seem like I'm too excited about life. Instagram. Just kidding. Sorry, I love Instagram. But my natural nature is to take a little too much time. That's why I don't use Twitter. So, so this is month 11 check-in. Really month 10. And I'm just here to say, up until about a few hours ago, I was not doing well at all. It's a terrible challenge. Don't do it. If you were thinking of releasing a bunch of albums, I know Ryan Adams did it once upon a time. He did like 3 albums in 1 year. I don't think it did anything extra great for his career. I think some of us are just more prolific than others. But a lot of my songs sound the same, so it's not really a thing to be prolific. It's just I'm less judgmental or censoring, I guess, of whether or not a song sounds the same. Less critical of that, or less critical of if it sounds like other people's songs. I'm just kind of like, whatever, and it just comes out. It's that faucet thing that I learned like 10 years ago in all these different things on creative writing, and I teach it to others, but like all I'm doing is helping people to like lower their standards when I help people with creative flow and writer's block. So, I used to have really high standards. This is a weird video. So I guess my point is, I write a lot of songs, but I'm trying to also find the balance with like this 12 months has helped me, well, 10 so far, has helped me realize that I do value high quality, super polished studio recordings, but I just haven't had the money to go into a studio and have someone else do the work. And then also, I don't have the skill set myself to get things up to that level. And so without money or without, me going to school for recording, I have to be lo-fi. And in the past, that was a reason to just not release music because my standards were high and I was frustrated. So I just didn't release. And I just kept all these hundreds of songs a year privately to myself, and I would listen to them and dream about putting them on an album someday. And now I thought this 12 album challenge would fix this, but I still have 3 slated albums from prior to doing this. 2 years ago when I started the 365, I already had 3 albums slated that I wanted to record. And I wasn't doing it, I didn't have the money, and I didn't have the time, and I didn't have the resources. So I do have Pro Tools now, and Brian lets me use his Pro Tools keys, so I can record studio stuff. So I can be doing studio stuff at home. So this is possible. But I get inspired when I'm at my real piano, and then I write something, and then it's on a little cheap handheld recorder because I never got, oh my gosh. So that's my biggest regret of these whole 2 years is my friend Elizabeth offered me to sell me her like high quality field recorder, Zoom H2 or something like that, for like $50. And I didn't do it. So literally every song I recorded for the whole last almost 2 years would have been like high quality, because you can do high quality field recordings. So that one hurts a bit. Because instead I used this really cheap thing for voice memos that I got from Best Buy. And it's always distorting the piano. The microphone wasn't sensitive enough. I didn't even have it on the WAV file setting. I had it on the MP3 setting just so I could hold a lot of songs on there. Like it was just like for myself. But I knew that I was never, some of these piano parts were so hard I could have never relearned them. Or I could relearn them if like I could slow myself down. But it would be like I'd have to love a song enough that then I'd stay on that song for like, 6 months and relearn that song by ear. And even songs that I've loved like that, there was one in October, I think it was 2015 or 2016. It was the day before I played my first show with Jess Kramer out here on the lakeshore. She came and played at the Pavilion with me and Katie Mansfield. It was awesome. And we all played this divey little bar show. And the day before I was so anxious, and I wrote the song that I play all the time. And I think that rather than relearn it note for note, a bunch of it changed. And so that's what I was worried about happening with all these songs that I loved the exact recordings of. Is I don't tend to keep things exactly the same. And so that's why I wanted to do this lo-fi challenge, is I wanted to like preserve the exact recordings. But it's like I used such a shitty microphone, shitty recorder that they sound like shit. And I like covered them up with space sounds and like ambient stuff, and it's like it's still not radio quality. So I'm hearing all this epic goodness in my head or in my mind's eye, like I can hear it. And then in this last album from last month 10, that I'm actually promoting because I like really like these songs, it's like I worked my butt off to try to edit out this distorted piano edit sound, and I couldn't get it out. And so it was like a really painful lesson in like why people record in studios. But like I don't feel inspired in studios. I don't even feel inspired in front of my computer at Pro Tools with my keyboard. I just feel inspired when I feel inspired. And then if I make something up and I love it, and I happen to be at the piano with a shitty microphone or a shitty recorder, like then that's where I was. And then if it isn't, I don't know, high quality, then it's just like, oh well. So this whole process has been very painful and very enlightening. It's also another thing I should check in on, because I've been rambling about it on Facebook the last few days, is I'm just worried this is going to run out of room, but I guess I'll keep talking. I've been just kind of worried, feeling a lot about marketing, like how to find fans, how to, connect with strangers who might like my music rather than just expecting my friends who like me for me. And I love that. And thank you, friends who do listen to my music. But, like, you don't have to, and you shouldn't have to. Like, you like me as a person. Like, cool, we're friends. Like, I shouldn't expect that from you. But there are probably people on the planet who would just like my music, because I can't figure out why else this is coming through me. If it's just for me, or if it's just for me to, like, I was going to say annoy my friends, but I don't mean it that way. Like, no one's being mean to me, but I know it's a lot to expect people to, like, check out your stuff. So, I don't know. That's been a weird thing on my brain lately, is just when I put all this work in and then just feeling like I do have some trauma around that. I don't like to talk about it because it's too specific, and it acknowledges periods in my life when, you know, I feel like it calls out certain people and calls out certain time frames, and I don't know. But I did put a lot of work and effort into a couple different projects in my life, and they did not go well from a marketing perspective or from a even sharing with friends and family perspective. And some did, some didn't. Different things went well in different projects, but I definitely am a little scarred around the process of putting like a year's worth or $10,000 worth. I've never had that much money, but I've had people helping me, and I've had people work on albums with me. And I did put a couple thousand into one once. And, you know, I just don't really know how to do releases, or, I don't know. I've emailed different things. I don't know. I've followed tips on all kinds of different blogs and articles on how to do things, and bought books, bought subscriptions, made electronic press kits, done all that stuff. And I just don't really know what I'm doing. So, you know, and there's a lot of fear-mongering in a lot of those articles about you should do it this way, or don't do it that way, or don't do this wrong, or you might have this happen, or blah, blah, blah. And it's really like, like, oh no, what if I mess it up? What if I mess up my entire career in life by saying or doing the wrong thing? And it's just like, we're already anxious, emotional people who write or create, you know? Like, that was just too much to have in my brain. So during this challenge, I've let a lot of that go, but it's like, it didn't help anything either. Now I let everything go, and I've done this crazy, wacko, just share everything, do everything, make everything challenge thing. And this isn't even really my real pace. Like, this feels not contrived, but this feels like, sorry. I took a sip of coffee. Now I don't know how to get my phone back. I don't know why I needed to pick up my phone to take a sip of coffee. I could have just done this. That works too. Mm-hmm. So, what I'm saying is, I did all this stuff for 2 years, 2 12-month challenges, my lucky number being 212. Wow, a 365-day challenge and then a 12-month challenge, but that is 2. Okay, whatever. 2 12-month periods. I guess what I'm saying is, I'm doing my best, but I don't know anything, and I'm just doing the music part, and I don't know anything about how this can be like, I don't know, whatever, you know. That's a check-in video, I guess. I'm just telling you what this process feels like. It feels kind of awful and kind of weird, and it feels like a lot of work for mostly no reason. It feels like trying to play catch-up on a wasted life. It feels like I spent a lot of my life stalling, and now I'm trying to hurry up and put a lot of things up online to reflect who I really am, which is someone very prolific. And I already said what I said about prolific, so, you know, I don't think it's a special thing. I think it's just a different level of editing or taste or whatever. But I gotta stop saying that disclaimer. You can watch that part or you cannot. I'm not trying to sound arrogant when I say I'm prolific. I know other prolific people. It doesn't necessarily mean you're better. It just means you're prolific. Sorry, I hate it when I interrupt myself to be self-deprecating and then I can't find my way back to my point. Yeah, something about life. So, the challenge is useful and also depressing. And that's where I'm at. And I have to do 2 more months of it. And I don't really feel like it. I had a cloud light practice today. That was really fun because Travis is playing with us all the time now as a drummer. And And yeah, we worked on our set, the same set that we played back in December when we got to open for Mutual Benefit, and that was amazing. That was a really meaningful time in my life. And yeah, just trying to balance this with being in Cloudlight. In Cloudlight's almost the opposite, where we're being very cautious and careful at deciding which songs to work on for the next album. That's been fun. But, slow. It's a different approach. And that's probably more normal and good. I don't know. But I feel like I need this because I write so much and I think so much and I talk so much and I just like making things. So, I don't know. I hope once this challenge is over that the real end goal is that I will now feel free to release things on my Bandcamp or Spotify or wherever when I want to. That it won't be this thing that was happening to me, which was that Bandcamp was like, so I did all these songs every day for like a year on YouTube, but Bandcamp still felt very intimidating and very precious to me. Like that had to stay polished. And it was like, well, why? Like it should, if I care about making money, or if I care about being a brand. But I mostly care about being a person and making sure that who I am, who I appear to be, is as close as possible to who I really am. And that's something very important to me. I feel like it makes it so I kind of shoot myself in the foot all the time, where it's like I'll start to build a little momentum on some topic, and then I'll make sure that I don't come off polished or come off like a concept or a I don't know, like a commodity. I'll try to make it back to just, I'm just a person. And a lot of the times I feel like that undoes any of the whatever. This is a very esoteric topic, and it's also a very gross one to me. But there is a thing going on in the world, and it's happening and affecting a lot of young people, that even just human beings are kind of branding themselves, just to exist. Your Instagram or whatever social media you prefer kind of has a tone or has a color scheme or has a look or has a style. Are you long-winded? Are you funny? Are you this? And it's like as if people are starting to shave off the sides of themselves that don't fit into their own mold that they've created for themselves. And like we're becoming like cliches of ourselves, and we're not really, but we're just trying to come off that way to make ourselves more palatable for others, I guess. And I feel like I not buy into that. Like I do it because we're all kind of doing it to some degree, and then I get irritated because it feels confining or it feels fake, and then I blast it open and I say things that you really normally wouldn't say publicly to a diverse group, old friends, new friends, parents of kids you teach, family members, friends that are in like the punk scene, but also, it's a wide group. And normally I think prior to social media, I would be a little more aware of the different ways that I talk around different people. And that's okay. That's like social norms and politeness. And I don't know. There's just this part of me that anytime I start tailoring who I am for social media or for a group, it's like there's this other part of me that just wants to blast it open. Just be like, nope, I am not playing that game. Whatever that game is that people don't even want to necessarily play, but we all feel maybe that we're supposed to succeed in the world, or to be perceived a certain way, or perceived as a professional, perceived as a talent, perceived as this, that, it's like, it's too much. I can't. It's like something in me just shuts down, and then I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. So here's me. This is who I actually am. This is what I sound like if we were hanging out for coffee. And that seems to be like all I can actually handle. Like it hurts my throat to be otherwise. And this is making my throat feel really weird right now to share all this, because this is not normal. And I don't know. I don't know why I both want to be normal. I think I don't want to be normal. I just want to be accepted, or I don't want to be looked at or treated like some sort of freak. Like what I am is weird. I don't want to be perceived as weird for crying or for being emotional or being long-winded. I don't want to annoy you for being myself. I really don't. But like if no one else or not many people are being like this, then it might be annoying because it takes up a lot of space. And that bothers me. Like I don't want to be bothering people. And it bothers me to be bothering people. But I also don't want to live my life inside a box. Especially like a non-see-through box. Like, I don't want to just feel, especially like a box that's so split that it doesn't even know it's in a box. Like, that's how it used to feel. Like, layers upon layers of me were like tucked away into other pieces, and like to the point where I didn't even know who I was. And I had to do all these like self-help books or like therapy or like support groups or whatever until I even found out who the heck I was and what I even liked and preferred. And that's what drives me crazy about modern culture. It's like I didn't know what I liked or what I preferred. I had no idea on so many topics. And I know that that might be the effects of trauma. I have a lot of trauma in my past. I won't get into that because, oh my gosh, this is not what I meant to talk about. But I don't normally support Starbucks, at least not very often. But one of my students got me a little gift card, and I didn't want to just buy coffee, so I bought a little memento for my mug collection. We have a lot of mugs. We do a lot of house shows, so I have a lot of animal mugs and cute mugs. And this is art by my dear friend Ryan, who just gave me a little present yesterday and made me cry. In a good way. Cry in a good way. Okay, I was just about to start grabbing things off my piano because all these different people keep giving us cute things. I realized the other day, and it kind of bothered me, but maybe I should just be happy about it. Like, wow, Charity gave me these cute things, and I've just filled them with so much stuff that they don't even look cute anymore. There's like a light thing in here, too, like lights. Oh, my gosh, but I don't know. I was noticing I just kind of have most of my stuff is little presents from others all added up, or things that I bought of others, like little art things. That's not a bad thing. I don't know why for a split second the other day I thought that meant like I don't have a sense of self, but then I was like, well, yes I do. I just really like these cute things that friends and people I like give me. Alright, well, there's no way my video's not about to cut off. I just deleted like 5,000 pictures and videos off my phone and a bunch of voice memos, and now it's letting me record for like 22 minutes. So that's pretty sweet. I guess I should go put this up on YouTube and then delete it off my phone so then I have room on my phone again. Hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you do feel inspired to challenge yourself. I will say the biggest upside, most positive thing I could say right now is whether or not I recommend doing something like this, which I don't. Well, a little bit I do. The thing I do recommend is that if you notice that there's something in you that you don't think is who you want to be, but it is feeling true, that it might not be as fixed as you think it is. It might not be as set in stone as you think it is. Because there were things in me that didn't reconcile with who I was when I was a kid. And I was like, I'll bet who I was as a kid was more true. And I'll bet there's even, I think everybody has traumas. I mean, I know I have big traumas, and I try not to talk too much about those, but I have big ones. But I think everybody has little traumas. This album that I just released last month is called Tiny Traumas. Although it's called Tiny Traumas, adding up, parentheses, out of body, in your skin, 3, like, and all these other things. My titles are long. But I do believe tiny traumas adding up is what most of the human experience is. It's, did someone bully you even just a little bit on a playground around a topic of like wearing a rainbow on your sweatshirt, and now, in tiny ways, subtle ways throughout your whole life, now you don't relate to this childhood version of you that liked to dress a certain way, but now you dress another way because you were just so subtly altered by people, and I think we're all having it done to us, and we're all doing it to other people inadvertently. We're accidentally, I'm sure I'm shaming people all the time by implying that certain ways that I do things are more valid when, I'm sitting here trying to have a non-shame message, but I'm probably accidentally shaming people just by existing, just by talking. Like, I really think that's what's happening. We all have such different approaches and different needs, and by me implying that mine is somehow, the one that more resembles growth or healing, I'm probably subtly implying that your way of maybe not looking at those things is not growth or healing, when really you might be able to function in the world a lot better than me, and that may be a version of growth and healing that I don't understand, because maybe you don't need to write songs all day, and maybe you're able to grow by growing into being more adult-like. I don't know. Like, I'm super childlike still. And I shouldn't be. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I should be, but you shouldn't be, Like, I just think we're all constantly accidentally, or worst case, overtly shaming each other. I hope, I don't know, whatever your shames are, I hope you either can look at them or ignore them and function. I don't know. I just want people to be at peace, and I don't think that's a realistic desire. The world is a very broken and sad place, and most of us don't have our dreams come true or even close. And then, and that's just in peacetime. And then there's times of war and great tragedy in all of our personal lives and sometimes socially in a region. And it's just like, everyone loses a loved one at some point. Everyone gets sick at some point. It's like we're all dying or going to die at some point. I'm sorry, that's not funny. I just mean like it's not escapable. And I have a lot of faith. My grandma was a nun. But my faith looks very weird compared to people that I know, so I don't talk about it much. But plus I don't know if I believe in talking about it too much. But I definitely spend a lot of time in prayer and meditation, and that's very important to me. And if all I had to hang my hat on was this world and the ways that human beings treat each other, self-included, treating others, like the inconsistencies of humanity, if that's all I had to hang my hat on, I would be a much sadder person. And so that is not where I place my comfort or faith. But I love people. And I hope we can all be good to each other. Just for today. As best we can. I just try to be non-harming. But I also try to be non-shaming about what causes harm. Because, like, if me existing causes you harm, then please, dear God, just look away. You know what I mean? Like, I used to think it was... If me talking too much causes you harm, I used to think that meant I had to try really hard to alter who I was. And I did that so fiercely that then I swung the total other way of thinking, well, now I can just do it and say anything and do, and I don't know. I think everything is balanced and we have to figure out what works for each of us, but it is not harming others by you existing as your real self, unless you are actually doing harm to someone. So try not to take those philosophies of non-harm too far if you end up reading Buddhist and Taoist literature in your early 20s like I did. Anyway, I can't believe my video is letting me talk for 27 minutes. This is really freaky. Oh, wait, no, I can't. Oh, yeah, because this video is going to so go viral, because 28 minutes of a person rambling just goes viral. I was about to play the Jeopardy theme song, but then I was like, oh, no, if I put that in there, then... I have songwriting students who, when they worry about accidentally copying a little bit of somebody's song, I'm like, okay, look. Unless you think that song is going to be... And this isn't meant to be shaming. I say it to myself, too. Unless a song that you write is going to be some massive hit... And then that person, like Pink or Beyonce, is going to like come after you and try to sue you because you borrowed a little bit of her melody by accident. It's like those types of thoughts so shut down creativity. Like, just let it go. Like, she also probably stole it. And they stole it from someone else who stole it from someone else. Like, music is derivative. Like, just let it go. And if you happen to accidentally steal something, well, then steal it so many times and work it through your system so much that it becomes a sound that is yours. But don't sit around in a paranoid way trying to like not accidentally steal a tiny little minutia of somebody else's music. It's like, it's not their music. They didn't invent it. They were born into a planet that already had music. It didn't just pop into their head and they've invented all new notes called Q and Y and G. Oh wait, G's a real one. Anyway, random inspirational tip at the end of a slightly depressing video. Slightly? I don't know. I don't know if I'm depressing. I actually think on video I'm funnier than I am in writing. In print, oh gosh, I just complimented myself for being funny. My point is, in print, when I talk this much, I think sometimes I do seem really heavy. And then when I talk this much on a video, I'm like, I don't seem very heavy. I seem like I'm entertaining myself. And it's just a strange way of making my own fun. I just don't know what else to do with this many thoughts in my head. My sister listens a lot. She's great. Well, she also talks a lot. Like, we go back and forth. And my friend David. And Brian, bless his heart. Bless his heart. Okay, before this hits 30 minutes, I gotta stop. Okay, goodbye. I love you. Have a great day. Oh, 30 minutes. Oh, well. Here, I'll just give you my room then. Hey. Hi. Okay. Here, I'll just do a little piano. Bye. Have a good day. Or night. Whenever you're watching this, I don't really care. I'm not trying to tell you when to watch videos. Oh my gosh. Bye.